This is Tony Marriott, team leader of Haven Express at Keller Williams Arizona Realty. Please take a moment to review the important disclosures and disclaimers on the first page of your binder. There is a section regarding the Mortgage Assistance Relief Services ruling and a section regarding limit of liability and disclaimer of warranty. Now that you've decided to do a short sale, let's discuss the short sale process in detail and focus on how Haven Express has been able to achieve a 100% list-to-close ratio since June of 2011. In a traditional sale, where you have equity in the property, there are several items that are of significant interest to the seller. What commission do you charge? What are the closing costs? And how much can you sell my property for? These items affect the net proceeds from the sale. In a short sale, the net proceeds to the seller will always be zero, apart from relocation assistance. The seller's lender pays the commission and closing costs from the proceeds of the sale, and the seller's lender approves the sales price of the property. In Arizona, it is permissible for the same agent to represent both the seller and the buyer. However, we believe that our clients are entitled to full and complete representation, so Haven Express never represents a buyer of one of our short sale listings. We rigorously pre-qualify buyers interested in our short sale listings. If they offer cash, they are required to provide proof from a financial institution that the funds needed to purchase are available. And if they are using financing to purchase, they must provide an acceptable pre-qualification form issued by their lender confirming the buyer is eligible for the financing to complete the purchase. One final point before we move on to the short sale process is that short sales can be successful even if there are multiple liens against the property. We cover that in detail in your short sale consultation. The first step is to schedule your free, no obligation, confidential short sale consultation. During the consultation, we'll discuss the items on the seller interview questions list, which is included in your binder, and answer any questions you have for us. This will give us the information we need in order to provide the best possible advice to you. There are several ways to conduct the consultation. Number one, by GoToMeeting, an online video conference platform that allows us to meet virtually any time from anywhere. This is the most popular option for the initial consultation. Number two, at our Scottsdale office, 9500 East Ironwood Square Drive, Suite 101. Or number three, at your property. Typically, the consultation will take place during business hours, Monday through Friday. However, we can accommodate consultations outside of this time frame by appointment. Following the consultation, you'll receive short sale seller homework, which involves you compiling and providing a list of documentation, essentially the same as when you applied for the loan originally, completing a simple financial statement, and providing information about your property. You will find the complete short sale seller homework on the CD provided in this binder. It is in fillable PDF format, so there is no need to print anything. Just fill in the information and email it to us. There is a short list of documents you will need to provide that your lender requires to review and approve your short sale. These include a hardship letter describing the circumstances leading to the need for a short sale. Guidelines are included for the structure of the hardship letter, along with samples of other hardship letters to make this simple and easy to complete. The 2 most recent years of your federal tax returns, the 2 most recent years of your W-2 forms, or if you were self-employed, the 2 most recent years of your profit and loss, or P&L statements, the 2 most recent months of your bank statements, checking and savings, your 2 most recent pay stubs, a brief financial statement listing your monthly income and expenses, the most recent mortgage statement for each loan on the property, and the latest HOA statement if your property is subject to an HOA. Once you have completed the seller's homework and provided it to us, we prepare your listing documents. We use DocuSign for electronic signatures. It's simple, and all you need is internet access. This is the first key to the success of a short sale, having the complete short sale package ready at the outset of the process. Once you electronically sign your listing documents and notify us that your home is showtime ready, we install the yard sign, lockbox, and take photos of the property. Once the property is active in the MLS, buyer agents will show the property subject to the showing instructions you provided to us that will be displayed in the MLS listing. Once offers are received, we will review and present them to you for your response and advise you based on our experience as to the best response for each offer. Once an offer is successfully negotiated and you enter into a fully executed contract with a buyer, we do 2 things. Number 1, we update the MLS to reflect the property is under contract, which will greatly reduce showing traffic, although we continue to market the property for backup offers. And 2. Your short sale package is submitted to your lender for review, processing, and approval. A fully executed contract between buyer and seller is another key to the success of a short sale. We use a proprietary counteroffer for terms and conditions, which weeds out the insincere buyers, maximizing the likelihood that the buyer will complete the transaction. This counteroffer has made all the difference between insincere buyers walking away at the 11th hour, leaving sellers to find another buyer or go to foreclosure, and sincere buyers entering into the contract with the seller and honoring their contractual commitments. North American Title's NatStar division is another key to the success of a short sale. They handle the processing, not the negotiating of the file, provide weekly updates on the progress of the approval process, and coordinate with the escrow officer to provide settlement statements for lender approval that reflect the terms and conditions of the short sale approval letter. Another key to success is the ability to communicate effectively with your lender. Although the lenders are continually improving their short sale processes, generally speaking, there is still a long way to go. If you are working with an agent who simply turns in the short sale package and waits, your likelihood of receiving an approval letter at all, let alone one acceptable to you, is far less than if you are working with a skilled and experienced short sale team. Haven Express monitors the transaction continuously to ensure lenders are meeting their announced timeframes for each step of the approval process. If they deviate from what they said they would do in the time frame they said they would do it, we immediately escalate the file. Other agents also escalate, but typically they are climbing the ladder one rung at a time. Our escalation process is to bring the matter to the attention of the lender's CEO. Due to our experience in corporate America prior to entering the real estate arena, we have both the ability to reach out to these top executives and, more importantly, we know how to present the request for their assistance in such a way that it is highly unlikely to be ignored. As a result, the file gets back on track, often in the hands of a highly experienced representative at the lender who is in the department that handles files that have come to the attention of the CEO. This escalation technique, coupled with the proprietary counteroffer for terms and conditions discussed previously, has enabled Haven Express to lead the way with our 100% success rate since June of 2011. It's important to verify the success rate a short sale agent is claiming, if that is a factor in your decision as to who to hire, and in our opinion, it's a critical factor. So how is a short sale list to close success rate calculated? It's very straightforward. The focus is on short sales that were listed for which the final outcome is already known. The final outcome can be one of three types. Closed, the short sale was successful. Canceled, the short sale was unsuccessful. Expired, the short sale was unsuccessful. Any active or under contract short sales are not included in the calculation, as the final outcome is not yet known. If an agent lists 10 short sales, 5 close, 3 expire, and 2 cancel, then the success rate is 5 closed against 10 attempts. In this case, that would be 50%. Of the short sales listed in the Arizona Regional Multiple Listing Service since June of 2011, more than a staggering 4,000 were unsuccessful. Simply put, anyone claiming a success rate higher than 80% needs to be able to prove it with data from the MLS. As mentioned in an earlier video, Jim Dunning, the designated broker for Keller Williams Arizona Realty, has verified and validated our 100% success rate for all listings we have taken since June 2011, and detailed proof of this claim is available upon request. Once the negotiations are concluded with your lender and your lender issues your short sale approval letter, it's time for you to decide whether the terms and conditions are acceptable to you. If they are not, you can decline to proceed with the short sale. You have no obligation to proceed with the short sale if the terms and conditions are not acceptable to you. We have included copies of short sale approval letters in the Avoiding Foreclosure Guide binder with names, addresses, and loan numbers redacted to preserve the privacy of our past clients. There are 4 items to look for in the approval letters. Number 1, is the lender agreeing to forgive the balance of the loan and waive their right to pursue you for a deficiency judgment? Number 2, is the lender requesting that you contribute any cash or sign a promissory note at close of escrow? Number 3, If the lender provides details of how they intend to report the short sale to the credit reporting agencies, how are they planning to report it? Number 4, is the lender offering relocation assistance, and if so, for what amount? The relocation assistance, if any, is not a negotiable item per se. It is predetermined by the loan type, the value of the property, and what, if any, relocation assistance programs the lender has in place at that time. As real estate licensees, we are not permitted to give you legal or tax advice regarding the content of the approval letter. So if you need clarification or a professional opinion on the letter, we encourage you to seek legal counsel from a qualified attorney and/or tax advice from a qualified tax advisor. We have included the names and contact information for a couple of attorneys and a couple of tax accountants in the binder. However, you are under no obligation to use them. You are free to use whoever you choose. Just make sure they are qualified to provide advice on the matter. If you are satisfied with the terms and conditions of the approval letter, the next step is for you to sign the agreement notice, which we then deliver to the buyer. The agreement notice specifies the date for close of escrow per the contract between you and the buyer. Per contract, you are committed to vacate the property and deliver possession of the property to the buyer at close of escrow. So the close of escrow date is the date by which you need to have moved to your new residence and removed all personal items from the property. The agreement notice triggers all contractual timeframes that were put on hold during the short sale negotiation process. This includes the 10-day buyer inspection period and, if the buyer is obtaining financing for the purchase, the appraisal of the property by a licensed appraiser. Once all contingencies are satisfied, the title and escrow company will schedule a signing appointment at which you will need to sign the short sale approval letter and other documents needed in order for the transaction to close escrow. Once the buyer has provided funds needed to complete the purchase and signed all documents they need to sign, the transaction proceeds to close of escrow. That's it. It's over, and you can move forward with your plan to rebuild your credit and financial future.